コミュニケーションスタイル、コミュニケーションスタイルイコール人が他の人と話すときのやり方やパターン。このポッドキャストではグリーン、レッド、ブルー、イエローの4つのタイプを紹介しています。
Are you a blue communicator? Let's find out today on the Social English Podcast.
皆さんこんにちは。毎日少しずつ社交に使える英語の上達を目指すソーシャルイングリッシュポッドキャストへようこそ。今日はぜひもっと自信を持って英会話してみましょう。 Are you ready, Parsi? Let's go!
Hey Hikari, thank you for that introduction. 皆さんこんにちは。こんばんは。Bom dia. Buenos dias. And welcome back to the Social English Podcast. Okay. Blue communicators. They are logical, structured, and detail-oriented. They think carefully before they speak. They ask questions. They want to understand exactly how things work. Now, you might hear them say things like, "Can you walk me through that?" Let me think about this for a moment. What's the plan? Can you give me more details? By the end of this episode, you'll understand how blue communicators think and how to use their phrases in your English conversations.
今日のソーシャルイングリッシュのエピソードは中級または上級のスキルレベルで英語を勉強している人々を対象としています。初心者の方はゆっくりとエピソードを聞いてください。頑張れ。
So, exactly, what is a blue communicator? A blue communicator is driven by logic and structure.
ロジックイコール論理、筋道の通った考え方。ストラクチャーイコール構造、順序立てた組み立て方。ブルータイプはこの2つを大切にします。
They don't like making decisions without information. They want the facts first. They want to understand the details before they move forward. Their goal is to make the best, most informed decision possible. Here's an example. Imagine 3 friends are planning a trip together. A blue communicator might say, "Before we book anything, what's the budget? What are the dates? Let's make a plan first." This doesn't mean they're not excited about the trip. It means they want to get it right.
ブルータイプは慎重に見えることがありますが、それは無関心なのではありません。正確に正しく物事を進めたいという気持ちの表れです。
They think carefully. They plan ahead. They pay attention to the details others might miss. Now let's look at some common blue phrases. I'll say each one, give you the meaning, and show you an example. Try repeating each phrase out loud. It really helps. Here's phrase 1. Can you walk me through that? Or, can you walk me through that? This means, can you explain that step by step? Here's an example. I want to understand the process. Can you walk me through that?
walk me through イコール一歩一歩説明してください。順を追って教えてください。ブルータイプがよく使う表現で詳しい説明を求めるときに使います。ブルータイプはすぐに答えを出すより考えてから話す傾向があります。
Okay, let's move on to phrase 2. Let me think about this for a moment. Or, let me think about this for a moment. You can also say, let me think about that for a moment. This means I need time to process before I respond. Here's an example. That's a big decision. Let me think about this for a moment.
Let me think は衝動的ではなく慎重で誠実な姿勢の表れです。
Let's move on to phrase 3. What's the plan? What's the plan? This means I need to know the structure before we begin. Here's an example. Before we start, what's the plan? Okay, let's move on to phrase 4. Can you give me more details? Or, can you give me more details? This means I need more information to understand fully. 例えば For example, that sounds interesting, but can you give me more details?
details イコール詳細、細かい情報。ブルータイプは大まかな説明だけでは満足せず、具体的な情報を求めます。
Okay, let's move to phrase 5. I want to make sure I understand correctly. Or, I want to make sure I understand correctly. This means, let me confirm before I move forward. 例えば Here's an example. I want to make sure I understand correctly. So the meeting is at 3, not 2.
make sure イコール確認する、確かめる。ブルータイプは思い込みで動くことを避け、必ず確認してから行動します。
This is a very blue sentence. Remember it. Now let's listen to a conversation. Picture this. It's a weekday evening at a coffee shop in San Francisco. Ava, Yuki, and Rafael are sitting together, trying to plan a weekend trip.
weekday イコール平日。月曜日から金曜日までの仕事や学校がある日のことです。
Ava is American. Yuki is from Japan. And today, Rafael is our blue communicator. So, listen carefully to how Rafael keeps asking for details and structure.
Okay, so I was thinking we could do a road trip this weekend. Just go somewhere fun. No big plan.
Oh, that sounds exciting. I love that idea.
Wait, before we decide, where exactly are we going?
I don't know. Somewhere north? Maybe Napa?
Okay, and what's the budget? Because Napa can be expensive.
I mean, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Ava, we need a plan. Can you walk me through what you're thinking?
Rafael, you sound like my professor.
I just want to make sure we don't get there and have no place to stay. Let me think about this for a moment. Okay, here's what I think we should do. First, we decide the location. Second, we check prices. Third, we book before Friday. Then we go.
Rafael, can you plan all of our trips?
Yes, but I need more details from both of you first.
Let's break down what just happened in this conversation.
ブレイクダウン、ブレイクダウン、イコール、分解する、細かく説明する。会話の内容を一つ一つ丁寧に確認していきます。
Ava suggests a road trip, but with no plan. Just excitement. Yuki loves the idea immediately, but watch what Rafael does. He doesn't say yes or no right away. He asks, where exactly are we going? Then, what's the budget? Then, can you walk me through what you're thinking? Now that's classic blue communication.
クラシック、クラシック、イコール、典型的な、まさにその通りの。クラシックブルー、イコール、ブルータイプの教科書通りの行動パターンです。
He's not trying to slow things down. He's trying to make sure the plan actually works. Notice this moment. Rafael says, let me think about this for a moment. Then he waits. He pauses. And then he gives a clear, structured solution. First, location. Second, prices. Third, book before Friday.
ブルータイプは考えてから話します。そして話すときは順序立てて明確に伝えます。ファースト、セカンド、サードのような構造的な言い方はブルータイプの特徴です。
That structure, first, second, third, is very blue. It turns a vague idea into an actual plan. And notice how Ava and Yuki react. At first, Rafael might seem like he's overthinking it. But by the end, everyone agrees his plan is the best one. That's blue communicators' gifts. That's their gifts with their communication style. Here's something important, especially for cross-cultural communication.
クロスカルチャーコミュニケーション。クロスカルチャーコミュニケーションイコール異なる文化、国の人同士のコミュニケーション。
When a blue communicator asks a lot of questions, you might think, oh, they don't trust me. or they're making this too complicated. But that's not true. Blue communicators ask questions because they care. They want to understand fully so they can help fully.
ブルータイプの質問攻めは不信感や批判ではありません。正確に理解したい、きちんと助けたいという誠実な気持ちの表れです。
So what can you do when communicating with a blue communicator? Give them details up front. Don't say, "We'll figure it out." Instead, say, "Here's what I'm thinking. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3." That kind of structure makes a blue communicator feel comfortable and respected.
アップフロント、アップフロントイコール最初から前もって。ブルータイプには最初から詳細を伝えるとスムーズなコミュニケーションができます。
Okay, practice time. Repeat each phrase after me. Say it carefully and clearly. Blue communicators are precise with their words. Okay, so repeat after me. Can you walk me through that? Can you walk me through that? Let me think about this for a moment. Let me think about this for a moment. What's the plan? What's the plan? Can you give me more details? Can you give me more details? I want to make sure I understand correctly. I want to make sure I understand correctly. First, second, third. First, second, third. Before we decide, let's look at all the options. Before we decide, let's look at all the options. Great job. Here's an important tip on delivery.
デリバリー、デリバリーイコール、ここでは話し方、声の出し方のこと。
Blue communication is calm and measured. Not cold, but clear. Not slow, but thoughtful. They think. Think of a confident person who has done their research. That's the blue style.
メジャードは落ち着いた、慎重な、計算された話し方。早口でも感情的でもなく、しっかりと考えながら話すスタイルです。
Now it's quiz time. I'll read 5 sentences. Decide. Does this sound like a blue communicator? Are you ready? 行きましょう. Let's go. Okay, let's start. Question 1. Before we start, can you walk me through the whole process? Before we start, can you walk me through the whole process? Is this blue? Yes, asking for a clear explanation before beginning. Very blue. Question 2. Let's just go. We'll figure it out when we get there. Let's just go. We'll figure it out when we get there. Is this blue? No, this is more yellow energy, spontaneous and excitement first.
スポンテーニアスは自発的な、計画なしに動く。イエロータイプは直感と勢いで動く傾向があります。
Question 3. I want to make sure I understand correctly. So the deadline is Friday, not Thursday? I want to make sure I understand correctly. So the deadline is Friday, not Thursday? Is this blue? Yes. Confirming details before moving forward. This is classic blue communication. Question 4. I don't care about the details. Just get it done. I don't care about the details. Just get it done. Is this blue? No. This sounds more red. Red communicators are driven by results. Fast and direct.
レッドタイプは結果を最優先にします。細かいことはいい、とにかくやれという姿勢はレッドの特徴です。
Question 5. I've made a list of pros and cons. Let me share my analysis. I've made a list of pros and cons. Let me share my analysis. Is this blue? Yes, research, analysis, and structured thinking. Deeply blue.
プロズ&コンズイコールメリットとデメリット。ブルータイプは決断の前に必ずこのような分析を行います。
Great listening, everybody. You're starting to hear the difference between all four styles. Before we close today, let's do a quick review of all four communication styles so far. Red, driven by power and results. Fast, direct, action-focused. Tateba, here's an example. Just get it done. Green, driven by peace and stability. Calm, kind. Tateba, for example. Whatever works for everyone. Blue, driven by logic and structure. Thoughtful, detail-oriented, plan-focused. Tateba, for example, can you walk me through that? Yellow, driven by fun and connection.
4つのコミュニケーションスタイルを覚えておきましょう。レッドイコール力と結果。グリーンイコール平和と安定。ブルーイコール論理と構造。イエローイコール楽しさとつながり。あなたはどのタイプに一番近いですか？
This we will talk about soon. This will be coming up in a new episode very soon. Which one sounds most like you? And which one sounds like someone you know? Understanding these styles isn't just about English, it's about understanding people. Okay, that is going to be a wrap for this episode 280 of the Social English Podcast.
雑アラップは終わり以上です。もともと映画や番組の撮影終了時に使われる表現が日常会話でも使われます。
Today, you learned about the blue communication style. Blue communicators are logical, structured, and detail-oriented. And they have a special gift. They turn vague ideas into clear, workable plans. The next time you hear someone say, "Can you walk me through that?" Let me think about this for a moment. Or, what's the plan? Smile. You're hearing blue communication. And here is your challenge before the next episode. Okay, so try using one blue phrase this week. The next time someone explains something confusing, say, "Can you walk me through that?" That one phrase will change the conversation.
今週のチャレンジ。誰かが難しいことを説明しているとき、Can you walk me through that? と言ってみましょう。たった一つのフレーズが会話の質を大きく変えます。
And if this episode helped you, share it. Tag us on Instagram. social_English_4_Japanese. Or find us on TikTok at Real Social English. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace and love.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.